Hey, welcome to the show. As always, we're gonna begin right this instant with COVID-19 because I'm not letting this go. New Oasis County. First, 2.49 million cases in the state of Texas. We're not getting close to 40,000 deaths, so it's 39,330 deaths. Now going to the counties. New Oasis County, 36,668 deaths. None of it covered. Here in the county, nowhere in Texas, 26.9 in the U.S., none of it covered. 462K deaths, 106 million total cases, 58.8 recovered, 2.31 million. We're the biggest ever. We get to 3 million, we're going to have a big problem. Now going to California. $1.14 million plus 4436, 17,764 plus 225. That's getting close to 18,000 deaths. We're already in the lead. And here's a graph to show from the New York Times. I mean, March cases have dropped. Line goes up. The hill goes up. It's been going down, and the hill went back up. Line goes up. There's the line. Goes back down, goes up, and then it goes straight to here. Now the 7-day average, this is from the 7-day average from the New York Times. The graph doesn't lie, the numbers don't lie, the media doesn't lie. The numbers are true. And in this case, yes, the numbers are true. I can't begin to imagine right now that we're in this state to where we'd have to be in quarantine again. But the thing you have to understand is that I get you want to go outside, play with your friends, but there are precautions you need to take. Like wearing masks, staying socially distanced. And always washing your hands at all times so that this doesn't happen again. Okay. So, you need to wear your mask, stay social distance, wash your hands at all times. And about the masks, it's mandatory because of your county judge. If your county judge says that you need to wear a mask at stores, you need to wear a mask at stores. No exceptions. Social distancing, it's the same thing. You have to stay within 6 feet. You want to order food? Where's your mask? You don't have one? You leave. You are required to wear masks. If you're using Lyft, taxi, you are required to wear masks. You're riding the bus, you're taking the subway, you have transportation, or you're giving someone a ride for free. You have to remind them to wear a mask every day and make them sit in the back seat, not in the front seat. That's the super spreader. I mean, it's not that hard. I take Lyft all the time. I take Lyft sometimes, and I take Lyft at times, and I sit in the back seat. Also, if you have a medical condition or if you're under 10, you cannot be wearing those as a child. And I've seen kids wearing those masks because of those staples. It's what the CDC recommends. If you think the CDC is lying or is just making it all up, you better get back. You better keep those thoughts to yourself, or just stay out of it. We all have to do our part here. Even at work, you are required to follow those rules. Social distancing. And those social distancing alarms that I've talked about. I'm thinking about getting one sometime this week. Sometime in a couple of days. And it's easy, it's cheap. It's really cheap and easy. Clip it onto your shirt. It's the social distancing reminder. It's the new thing in technology from GQ Electronics. What that means is it's going to help. And I think it will help. I think everyone needs to get that device. If it beeps, just let them know. Oh, it's my social distancing alarm. It's the SDR. If they want to know what it means, just let them know. And there's also social distancing pointers. Portable. It's a social distancing pointer. It's a portable telescopic handheld social pointer stick, extendable 6 feet pole, measure social distance. I might think about getting this. Tell you, I may think about getting this. $18 each. It's portable size, white application. There's also these things, the floor strips. Those help. I recommend you getting these. Stickers, I would say get stickers, but I think the social distancing reminder device works best. It really helps. It helps out, and it should help out with everything. A lot. If you gotta do your part, if I'm going to do my part, you need to do your part. We're all in this together. Next, defacing school property. I may talk about this on my graffiti in schools topic, but it comes after an episode of Everybody Hates Chris. But during this virus, has there been graffiti? Has there been graffiti in school? In school since COVID? Well, we're going to find out when we return. After watching an episode of Everybody Hates Chris, there is an important lesson in that episode. Do not spray graffiti on school property or deface. You might be saying, what does deface mean? The definition of deface is spoil the surface or an appearance of something by drawing or writing on it. So in other words, it's also a synonym for vandalize, disfigure, spoil, ruin, deform, sully, tarnish, damage, injure, blight, blemish, impair, tag, trash. The opposite is beautify. But since COVID-19, has there been any more people who have been arrested for spraying graffiti? The answer is yes. And that comes only after in Connecticut, in Kirkwood. In Kirkwood, 3 teens have been arrested in connection to a racist graffiti at Kirkwood High middle schools. This happened weeks ago. Two 18-year-olds and a juvenile, which is three, have been arrested in connection to racist graffiti that was spray painted on the outside of Kirkwood High School and the part of North Kirkwood Middle Schools last week, they said on Wednesday. The two 18-year-olds have been identified as Christian Reese and Daniel Moore. They were charged with causing property damage. The case of the juvenile will be handled in a family court. The district officials said Wednesday that two of those arrested were graduates. The district wanted the student, but did not specify which of them is currently enrolled. The school buildings were sprayed with graffiti last month. And several students witnessed the vandalism. Police earlier released surveillance footage of the suspect's school district of the suspects. The district officials condemned racism, hate speech, acts of vandalism. 100 teenagers, most likely, they gathered Wednesday afternoon and marched to the police station to protest the racist vandalism. Students held Black Lives Matter signs and chanted, "No justice, no peace." As the protest, this ended with the protest. And after that, a state center for the hate crime sentencing describes hate crimes as crimes such as assault, harassment, unlawful use of weapon, property damage, in which state believes to be not only motivated because of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, disability, the victim, or victims. All three have been arrested. Again, this was at Kirkwood. You could go to jail. For spraying graffiti. Graffiti is a serious crime. It's very serious. If you were to look at this, which I can't play up there because of the internet connection to my Xbox One, but if you look at this, one person is spraying the graffiti, the other person has the spray paint. So it's two people are spraying their graffiti. Actually, it's three people. So now we know it was three people who sprayed graffiti. This was a month ago. This was last month. And until that time, they're juveniles. I'm afraid that if they did this, if you would do this, then probably you would be expelled. Like in that episode. Chris's friend got expelled for spraying for vandalism, and then I don't know if he got jail time. But they're trying to provide safety in the schools. And even if you're 65 now out of school, you still could get arrested. Like in this one. 65-year-old woman turns herself in after vandalizing the school store with anti-Biden graffiti. Anti-Biden graffiti? Let's look it up. If you look it up, it would show you all images, like something that states that China, bailing with Biden. And this was after this woman, Emily Winters of Fairfield, was charged with criminal mischief and released on February 12th, which is this week. He spray painted the phrase "United States of China" on the sidewalk. The same phrase was also found by officers spray painting a snowbank on the back of the school parking lot. The Board of Education said a statement that reads in part, "As we possess the events according to our country, we know that many in our community are dealing with feeling anger, hurt, and fear. However, there is no place for diverseness or destructive language in public schools." And Winters was charged with criminal mischief and released with a promise to appear in court February 12th. So until that time comes, we'll bring you an update on this story as it goes. Because let's face it, spraying graffiti in school is not cool. As a matter of fact, it's not cool to spray graffiti whether you're in school, whether you're at your friend's house, at a public place. Public places, I mean, yes, it's a public place with public outlets. Yes, you can charge your phone there, but it's a private space. Out there's public, inside is private. That's why there's no trespassing signs out there to help you understand, oh, if I trespass, I'll get arrested. Just try to remember that so that we can all be safe and not end up protesting. Next, part 2 of our Super Bowl safety. This time it's from health officials. They advise residents to be cautious about the Super Bowl coming up tomorrow. We'll tell you more about that from Mariah Gallegos when we return. Last night I gave you some Super Bowl safety tips talking about what you cannot do during the Super Bowl. Because there is the virus still out there, and if you're thinking about partying, you need to plan it out and stay socially distanced. And as Mariah Gallegos tells us, there's lots of things that you can do to help stop the spread.
Automatically you start thinking of people getting together, not just the family households, but additional family members and maybe neighbors.
A day every year that tends to draw large crowds of people together.
I think we're just tired. We're ready to just celebrate with family members, and that's where you could get into a lot of trouble.
But like most things in the recent year, Health Director Annette Rodriguez says the big football Sunday should be celebrated differently.
We're still in the fall surge, and so just because we're not at 200 plus, we're still in the hundreds, the triple digits. We need to be in the single digits. It's where we need to be.
Yes.
If we're going to be able to get a handle on this virus.
Rodriguez says she hopes the community will remember the effects of large gatherings during a time like now, when the coronavirus is still so rampant.
I mean, you've got to change the way you're going to do things if we're going to get ahead of this virus. Right now, we're not ahead of it. I think everybody knows that. If they don't, they need to know that very clearly.
She says events like tomorrow's are times when our community needs to take advantage of all that we've learned during the pandemic. Use Zoom or FaceTime, stay outside, and keep your mask on. Mariah Gallegos, 3 News.
Thanks, Mariah. And also, don't be sharing food. That's how germs can spread. Don't double dip. Don't double dip. I'm telling you right now, do not double dip. You're spreading germs. Just bring your own food, bring your own supplies. Just bring whatever. And make sure you know what you're doing. If you're going to do the party, do it outside. Don't do it inside, just do it outside. If your TV does not do sunlight, well, I don't know what to tell you. Get yourself a projector. Get yourself a little projector screen or whatever. But if you haven't got one, well, I'm sorry, it's too late. And you can watch Super Bowl coming up tomorrow. And if you have YouTube TV, it's coming up at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on CBS. Check your local listings for whatever's happening. How do you know which local wild plants are edible or not edible? When we return, we're going to tell you. What we're going to do is tell you what plants you should eat and not eat. Stay with us. Okay. Now, have you ever wondered which plants to eat or not to eat? I'm going to tell you right now. How to know which local wild plants are edible? Here's the latest Channel 6.
That included information on what local wild plants you can eat and even a bit of recipes. Check this out. It's called Wild Edibles in the Garden, and it was put on by the keepers of the garden. The class teaches you exactly what is edible, what can be used as medicine, and what you should avoid all around you.
So these are things that we walk over every day, and we may think that they're weeds, but for the most part, they usually have a use, which is really neat.
That's some interesting information right there. Now, Grace says once you know what you're looking at, you'll be able to know what the practicality of keeping the plants around.
Agreed. So what plants can you not eat? Well, there are some secretly poison plants we eat all the time, and I'm not going to scare you, but I'm just going to give you from modernfarmer.com, and they're experts, they know the truth. A tomato. Now, I eat tomato sauce, I eat ketchup. Ketchup is made from tomatoes. Apples, cherries, apricots. I drink apple juice. There's no problem with that. Kidney beans. You know the stuff you make from chili? Ingestion is kidney beans can cause serious diarrhea and vomiting according to the FDA. So I would not recommend you getting kidney beans unless you want to suffer diarrhea. Rhubarb. The springtime stock mostly used in the creation of America's best pie. Stay away from that. Asparagus. Well, I haven't had asparagus, but the stems are perfectly safe to eat. Cashews. It should never be eaten raw, you should cook it. That's the sixth dangerous. Now what kind of plants should you eat? Because edible means to eat. Well, according to the ballrunfund.org, lettuce, cabbage, parsley, spinach, basil. That's the leaves we eat. Broccoli, cauliflower, flowers. Seeds we eat include peas, kidney beans, which I told you, but you gotta pick your battles. Lima beans, fruits, which protect seeds, are tomatoes, apples, oranges, lemons, pumpkins, cucumbers, and peppers. Now you might be thinking, is a pumpkin good? Well, I tried it and I learned about it, and yes, pumpkin is really good. It's full of vitamins. Full of a lot of vitamins. There's also asparagus, cattail, clovers, chicory, curled dock. The ones to avoid are sap, dill, burdock, clovers, chicory, curled dock, dandelions, kelp, plantain, hickory pear. The list just goes on. The garden plants are edible: wild garlic, red clover, chickweed, lamb's lettuce, red clover, to name a few. The bottom line is choose and pick your battles. And there are some books about this. And if you're looking for some books, like Edible Wild Plants, there are some books available, and Edibles Wild Plants for Beginners, and the Illustrated Guide to Edible Wild Plants. For those who want to look up those books, we'll put that in the link in the description below so that you can get started. And coming up this summer, we'll have some planting tips for you so that you can plant safely during this COVID time. That's all of this Give Me a Break Saturday. Again, we'll see you again for a special Super Bowl edition of Give Me a Break coming up tomorrow. As I say, Give Me a Break's going to be on 5 days a week. That's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we get Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow night for the Super Bowl special edition of Give Me a Break. Have a great night, everyone.